Besides the Liberal Party of Canada, this is the number one reason why you in Canada can't have nice things. And me in Alberta, I can't have nice things. And folks, you're going to get a lot more of it. Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel, 3:57 a.m., Sunday, November the 23rd. I hope you're having a great start to your Sunday morning and a great weekend as well. I've got my big blue mug of coffee. Thank you so much for being here today. I want to ask you to please like this video and subscribe to the channel. And the reason I'm asking you to do that right off the top like this is because YouTube does not like what I'm talking about, and they throttle videos like this, and it hurts the channel. So if you could help me out by giving me a thumbs up and hitting on subscribe, I would appreciate it. And no doubt right now, because I did this video, there is some kind of Wikipedia propaganda below talking about climate change, or somewhere it's going to pop up on your screen while you're watching this video. Now, I said off the top, the Liberals are the number one reason why we can't have nice things in this country, and the second is because of net zero and climate change. And we know Mark Carney is heavily invested in net zero. And I mean that figuratively, and I mean it literally. This man is going to make a fortune being the Prime Minister of Canada because of his push for net zero. He is a climate change zealot. He is one of the heads of the climate cult in the whole freaking world. And folks, you're going to get a lot more of it, folks. It is coming in a big way. He's at the G20 right now, and this is why I'm doing this video today.
But I want to highlight a few other issues before my time is up. First, the importance of high-integrity, standardized carbon markets that have the potential to shift capital flows to those most affected by climate change, including being integrated with JETPs, such as the JETP here, changing the incentives and the financial calculations to decarbonize. I'd suggest that we can catalyze enormous private sector demand for these credits by committing AI data center development to be carbon neutral. We need a price on carbon. I salute my neighbor, the European Union, in pricing carbon and putting in place a CBAM.
There's a lot to unpack in that short clip, and I'm going to get to all of it, and it's all bad. But the main thing you need to get out of that is Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, in front of the G20, is committing Canada to net zero AI, which is a huge growing industry, and will put Canada at a disadvantage with countries that don't do this, like our neighbor to the south. Not only that, but my province of Alberta wants to invest heavily in this, and he's putting shackles on us as well. Here's Danielle Smith talking about it.
And one more thing. We literally live on top of more than 1 trillion barrels of oil and more than 1 quadrillion cubic feet of natural gas. These oil and gas resources represent an astounding tens of trillions of dollars in potential wealth for our country. That means hundreds of thousands of new great-paying jobs, hundreds of billions in taxes and royalties for government services and infrastructure, and potentially trillions more in spin-off industries like AI data centers, AI data centers, AI data centers.
This is another carbon tax, and for those of you who thought Mark Carney was a wonderful man for writing away the consumer carbon tax before he was elected back on April 28th, this is another carbon tax along with the industrial carbon tax that we've got. So you're paying more for everything, and this will make this more expensive and, again, make us less competitive. Now, what else did he say in that short clip? He talks about JETP. JETP stands for Just Energy Transition Partnership, a program that provides financial and technical support to help developing countries move away from fossil fuels like coal. This is wealth redistribution on a global scale. Your money to countries to help them transition away from fossil fuels and coal. He doesn't just want Canada to do that. He wants everybody around the world. If you really wanted to help countries that were having trouble around the world, you'd dig some wells. There's about 1.2 billion people in the world who don't have clean drinking water. Or you put up a coal-fired power plant and actually give them energy, not put up windmills and solar panels, or waste our money with some tin pot dictator who's going to spend your money on God knows what. So that's what JETP stands for. And isn't it interesting? It's always the poorer countries and people of color that climate change seems to attack. I could never understand that. Now, what else does he say in here? This is the biggie, folks. He talks about CBAM right at the end there. CBAM. And we knew all about this prior to the election. People who were listening knew all about CBAM prior to the election. But instead of listening to what Mark Carney said and what he promised to do, most of it is bad. You were worried about Trump. Trump! Trump! Carney released his carbon tax plan recently, and it contained a tariff, a carbon tariff. Carney said he would change the carbon tax, but he would replace it with a hidden industrial carbon tax, and on top of it all, he would impose carbon tariffs on imports. In former central banker speak, this tariff is called Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, CBAM.
We need a price on carbon. I salute my neighbor, the European Union, in pricing carbon and putting in place a CBAM, a CBAM, a CBAM.
Carney plans to impose the tariff on imports from other countries if he thinks they aren't doing enough to reduce emissions. That tariff would make the products more expensive to import to Canada, and that means Canadians would pay more. And the United States does not have CBAM. Carney's been talking about this for months.
It's a big bad world out there. The people with whom we are more likely to trade with, now that our closest trading partner is attacking us, cares about carbon emission reductions. You look at the European Union, look at the major...
Guess what one of the requirements is to diversify trade to the European Union? Guess what one of the requirements is to diversify trade to the United Kingdom? Guess what one of the requirements will be to diversify trade to emerging Asia? Is to have a form of price on carbon. So we are able to think one step ahead. We're able to go out and see the world. We're able to help Canadian companies prepare. And you know what's going to happen 5 years, 10 years from now? If I have the pleasure of being in front of you, you'll be asking me the question, if we didn't do this, if we didn't help our companies get more prepared, the Americans are going to start caring about this again. They have elections every 4 years.
Were you listening to what he said? Were you listening during the election? I mean, our biggest trading partner does not have a CBAM, and he said there, well, you know, eventually, in the United States, they're going to do this because he thinks they're going to elect a Democrat. Well, let me put the fear of God into the folks out there who hate Donald Trump and hate the Republicans. This is going to scare the shit right out of you. Donald Trump's got another 2.5 years. And then J.D. Vance is waiting in the wings. And that could be another 8 years of Republicans. And J.D. Vance isn't going to have a CBAM. The way the Democrats are imploding in the United States right now, there's not a chance they're going to win the next election as far as I'm concerned. Can you wait another 10.5 years for the United States to impose a CBAM on them as well? Because the United States will not put up with this CBAM tariff on goods coming into the country. And if we put a tariff on things coming into the country, you're going to pay more. The Liberals and Mark Carney are heavily invested in this net zero nonsense, and it needs to be called out, and it needs to be called out by my Premier Danielle Smith. She's about to walk out apparently this week to announce a pipeline which is going to have to deal with carbon capture as well. It's called the Pathways Project, billions of dollars to put a pipe into the ground to bury carbon dioxide. And I'm wondering if she's going to agree to AI net zero as well. You know, I talked the other day about I don't think there's a chance that a pipeline will be built regarding when we have this announcement, which was apparently supposed to happen on Thursday. The other reason why I don't think it would happen is because it's the Liberals and everything they do turns to shit. They don't do anything right. And this is not the way Canada should be going. But there's your Prime Minister on a worldwide stage. He's going all in on this, folks. And you knew it was coming. We can't have an election soon enough. Thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Please give it a thumbs up. As I said, YouTube does not like videos like this. I said the nasty words, climate change, and you're getting the propaganda, no doubt, somewhere on your screen right now. Please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. I'll see you in the next one.